A very good evening to all, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 2nd June 2026, Tuesday class. So as usual, we will be continuing our sharing from this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Sutra. We are almost finishing this volume 4, chapter 3. We are at page 850. Okay, as usual, we gather for physical puja. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无药师佛。南无药师佛。南无药师佛。南无文殊菩萨。南无文殊菩萨。南无文殊菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无准提菩萨。南无准提菩萨。南无准提菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสุขะโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาดัฏฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิกันนะสารปฏิเทนะดิเพนะตมาดังสีนะติโลกาดิปังสัมบุดังปูจายามิตโมนุดังกันดาสัมบารายุเตนะทุเปนะหังสุขังหินะปูจาเยปูจานิยังตัง Puja Bhajana Muttamang Vanna Gandha Gunupetang Etang Kusuma Santatin Pujayami Munindasa Siripada Sarorahe Pujemi Badang Kasumena Nena Punnena Matena Cha Hotu Mokhang Pupang Milayati Idang Me Kayo Tatayati Vinasabhavang Adivase Tuno Bhante Paniyang Parika Pitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang Adivase Tuno Bhante Pali Parika Pitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang Adivase Tuno Bhante Bojanang Parika Pitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang. Okay, now we will recite all this Puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami or generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to the ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers. Sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to Puja. Padang Pujami. Dhammang Pujami. Sanghang Pujami. Be diligent to develop this stability or inner awareness, because it is the most important training to be heedful. Okay, as usual, you have to apply the four support, which can help you develop this stability or inner awareness. The first three support are very useful. You must have the ability to relax both body and mind, completely relax, and just allow your body to feel good completely at ease. Your mind also, without problem, without stress, just allow whatever to arise and let things be. So ability to relax body and mind creates harmony within our form and mind. And the more deep you can relax into, the easier you become mindful. And the easier you stabilize your mindfulness. Just relax. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Just relax into it. Then after that, you just maintain the inner awareness, which is the silent mind. Just don't arise any thought. Maintain the ability to be aware without thinking. That is the second support. So maintaining the awareness within is very important. Then third support is to stabilize this inner awareness by just letting things be. Whatever arises, it has to be from the sixth sense basis. So you just silently using your silent mind to be aware. Upon contact, what happened? Just aware. Your nature, which is the pure awareness nature, will understand what is going on. Then after that, don't create any more thinking. Don't continue with the chattering or verbalization or thought activity. Just silent. Aware, finish. Aware, silent. So no need to do anything, because whatever you try to do is always by the thought. Whatever you try to know is always by the thought. So all doing and knowing is by the thought. And this will create mundane thought activity. Our awareness-based meditation is to develop the inner awareness without thought. The moment you are without thought, the awareness nature is there. So no need to do anything. Just relax, maintain awareness, allow it to stabilize. Then once you have become good at this first three support, you can move on to the fourth support. It may take a while, but be patient, develop the faith, saddha, virya, then persevere. Perseverance is very important. Just continue to allow things be. Relax. Maintain the inner peace, inner calmness, the silent mind, the inner awareness. Just aware. Finish. Then allow it to stabilize. Once you can stabilize the inner awareness, and you can stay in that state of thoughtlessness or without thought, means you have achieved a great milestone of establishing complete stillness and silence within your mundane mind. The free mind then usually think a lot, create a lot of thought activity, perception, reaction, and stirring of the mind has finally ceased to be. Once you can be aware without thought, within the free mind, not in any state of concentration or conditioned state of mind, that free mind that can remain silent without thought is your true awareness nature. Then during that time it's very easy to meditate. Wherever you locate your mind, the awareness will be there, sensitive. It will pick up whatever that moves. So stay at the heart. The fourth support is trust, T-R-U-S-T. Trust your inner nature. to develop the meditative movement. Trust here means no interference from your knowledge, your memory, your thought activity, including your views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system. Everything means completely allowing the nature to move on its own. So when you stay around the heart area, the awareness, being sensitive, will pick up whatever vibration or even your heartbeat. Initially, it's like very gross, very loud, the pounding, pupa, pupa, like very loud, very gross. Never mind, just allow it to be, which means you can hear your own heartbeat without the stethoscope. Means your mindfulness has picked up, otherwise you can't. Or whatever vibration, in fact our whole body is full of vibration. So you stay at the heart, you can pick them up. And those activities that move and vibrate within your own form and mind, the awareness of it is very important. When you are just aware, means the phenomena and the awareness, they become one, no thought. So this is mindfulness. Then when mindfulness develops and you are relaxed, that nature will move on its own. It will detect and locate the gateway to your nature, so that finally, when that thing happens, your fourth support will starts to gain momentum and develop the understanding. And this fourth support you only do if you want to go beyond the sainthood way to cultivate the bodhisattva way. Otherwise, the first three support is good enough. Okay, I will let you meditate on your own. I will set the alarm for 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, you all can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives 7 and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chirkavalesu Atra Gacha Tu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Sunan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sunan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sunan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacarana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Sat ตาเดวมนุสานังพุทโธภควติสวากาโตภควตาธัมโมสันติติโกอากาลิโกเอหิปัสเสโกโอปนายิโกปัจจตังเวดิตาโบวิโนหิติสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอุจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยายาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยะดิดังจัตตาริปุริสยุคานิอัตตปุริสภูกาลาเอสาภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนโยปาหุเนโยดักเขเนโยอัญจลิการะเนโยอนุตรังปุญญังเกตังโลกาสาติสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, you all can be seated. Then we'll continue from where we stopped. We are at page 850. Okay, I will read on. You may say that if Sakyamuni Buddha had not taught the Dhamma Flower Sutra, no one would have fallen into the hells. But if Sakyamuni Buddha had not taught the Dhamma Flower Sutra, no one would have become a Buddha either. If someone falls into the hell, you cannot blame the Buddha. Where he was very clear in saying that criticizing the sutta is a grave offense. Since you already know that it's an offense, you should not criticize the sutta. If you do not criticize the sutta, you will not increase your risk of falling into the hells. But if you insist on going ahead and criticizing this sutta, even more just to spite the Buddha, you will fall even deeper into the hells. There is not the slightest doubt about this. Sakyamuni Buddha warned us that whoever disparages the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra will fall into the hell, or turn into hungry ghosts, or an animal, and suffer in the three lower realms for countless aeons. So why would you want to disparage the Dhamma Flower Sutra? If you do, you are deliberately pitting yourself against the Buddha. If nobody disparages it, nobody will fall into the hell. Therefore, you cannot say that people fall into the hell because the Buddha taught the Dhamma Flower Sutra. Since Sakyamuni Buddha taught the Dhamma Flower Sutra, just think of how many people it has inspired or were inspired to bring forth the Bodhi resolve and plant the seed of Bodhi to attain Buddhahood in the future. More living beings will become Sammasambuddhas than were the numbers falling into hells. I think those who will fall into the hells must be extremely ignorant, for they don't believe anything at all. They know very well that Sakyamuni Buddha said that it is an offense to criticize the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra, yet they will do so. Who can say living being like that? Actually, there is someone Who is that? The Earth Store Bodhisattva. Earth Store Bodhisattva described how he saved this type of living beings from the hell. When they have fallen into the hells and suffer enough to learn their lesson, Earth Store Bodhisattva will go down into the hell to teach the Dhamma to them. At that time, they will finally understand their karmic offenses will be eradicated, and they will be reborn in the heavens or among humans. Therefore, don't worry about the people who criticize the Sutra and fall into the hell. Just select a good path for yourself and go forward. Do not worry about offenders or be upset about those that are in the hells. Okay, next part. The Dhamma door of great kindness, teaching this sutta to wholesome people. Teaching this sutta to those who meet any of the 5 pairs of criteria, summarizing those who can be taught. Okay, those are the outline. So the sutta say, teaching sutta to those who meet any of the 5 pairs of criteria. There may be those with keen faculties, penetrating wisdom, erudition, and good memories, who aspire to become Buddhahood. You may teach this sutra to such people. There may be those who have seen hundreds of thousands of kotis of Buddhas, who have planted many good roots, and whose minds are deep and resolute. You may also teach this sutta to such people. Okay, commentaries. The preceding verses warn people not to disparage this sutta. This is an example of the Buddha opening the door of his great compassion, fearing that living beings might criticize the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta. The Buddha clearly warned them, you should not disparage this sutta. If you do, you will surely fall into the hells. The Buddha was not trying to intimidate living beings. He was telling the truth. This is a sutta that can lead beings to become Sammasa Buddha. However, if you criticize this sutta, you will be questioning the attainment of Sammasa Buddhahood. Not only should you not criticize it with words, you should not let any doubt or thought of criticism arise in your mind. Out of his great compassion, the Buddha warned, be careful, do not disparage the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta. It is an offense, a severe offense if you do so. You know clearly that you would fall into the hell. Why would you criticize it? Perhaps you wish to make a trip to hell, saying, I have no way to go or get into the hells, so I will just criticize the Dhamma Flower Sutta so that I can get there faster. But it's not fun. It's not a fun game. When you are there, you won't be playing and having fun like little kids. When you go to the hell realm, you will be crying your eyes out. The previous verses represent the door of great compassion. The following verse represent the door of great kindness. For they teach the way to cultivate in accord with the Dhamma. For example, all of you who come and listen to these lectures on the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta have very good roots. When those without good roots come, they run away as soon as they hear the lecture. they won't come back. Though they do not understand Mandarin at all. They run off as soon as I finish lecturing in Mandarin. Even if they stay for the English translation, they think, I've heard all this English before. I already know English. Why should I listen to more of it? I came here to listen to Mandarin because I don't know any Mandarin. Even though they have no idea of what the lecture is about, they refuse to listen to the English translation, where they do not wish to understand the sutta. Why is that? They are afraid that once they hear the translation and understand the Dhamma Flower Sutta, they will realize that they are going to fall into the hell. Therefore they run away quickly. They fly away like birds. And this is Xuanhua's version. Then the sutta continues. There may be those with keen faculties, penetrating wisdom, erudition, and good memories, who aspire to Buddhahood. Commentaries. People with keen faculties are very intelligent. They are generally wise people. When you teach them principles, they will believe them and have no doubt. They are well read and understand many principles with strong intellectual capacity and good memory. They are able to memorize the principles regarding everything in life as suffering or dukkha. They were single-mindedly resolved to realize Buddhahood. Even if a person lived to be 100 years old, eventually they will die. Finding no great meaning in living a mundane life, they diligently seek to realize Sammasambuddhahood. You may teach this Dhamma to such people. The Buddha said that you may explain the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta to such people. Then they can understand, they can receive. Then the second part. There may also be those who have seen hundreds of thousands of kotis of Buddhas, who have planted many gurus, and whose minds are deep and resolute. Suppose there are those who in their past life have seen countless hundreds of thousands of kotis of Buddhas and have planted many good roots before the Triple Gem by making offering to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. They aspire to realize the true and profound prajna, genuine and deep wisdom. They have resolute mind. They do not criticize or discriminate. You may teach this sutta to such people. Commentary. The Buddha said that you may explain this wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta for their sake. Let me elaborate further. If you wish to make offering to the Triple Gem, you should not discriminate. You should wholeheartedly make offerings to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. The three jewels are the same in their essential nature. You should not have discriminative thoughts, wondering where your offerings go. When you give without thinking about how your offerings will be used, you are giving with the utmost sincerity and understanding. Do not act like small nations that allegedly wish to help less developed countries, but stipulate certain terms and conditions before providing any aids. They demand that the goods that this country produces must be sold at a cheaper price to them. They also prohibit their beneficiary from trading with other nations. This is not really lending a helping hand. This is not giving humanitarian aid at all. In fact, this is manipulating the politics of another nation. Making offerings to the Triple Gem is the same. You should not try to control the Triple Gem with your offering. The Triple Gem are not to be controlled by you. When you attempt to exert control over the Triple Gem, not only do you receive no merits, you would have committed an offense. Everyone should understand this. As you plant good roots, just plant them without worrying about them. Do not worry about the fruit you will reap in the future. The first stanza refers to the present, describing erudite and intelligent people with many good roots. The second stanza refers to the past, to their past cultivation. This pair of present and past condition is one pair among the 10 characteristics of a good person. Okay, next part of the sutta. There may be those who are vigorous and who always act with kindness, not sparing body or life. You may teach this sutta to them. There may be those who are reverent, consistent in their resolve. So under the note 52, according to the 法华经会议, 法华经会议, this part of the sutta identifies good people to whom this sutta may be taught, describing the 10 characteristics grouped into 5 pairs, cultivated in the past and have good roots in the present. That is the first pair. Practicing for blessings and wisdom, second pair. Motivated by conscience and sense of shame, the third pair. Engaged in self-cultivation and teaching others, the fourth pair. Beginning and end of the quest for Buddha Dhamma. Okay. Next part of the sutta. And who stay away from foolish people. That's why when we make aspiration, power merits, we always recite this. By the power of this merit, may we always avoid the foolish and the heedless, meet up with the wise, so that enlightenment in the here and the now can be realized as soon as possible. And not only someone who stay away from the foolish people, they must also dwell in solitude in the mountains and marshes. To such people, you may teach this sutta. Commentaries. So the next pair is those who are vigorous and who always act with kindness. Suppose there are people who cultivate vigorous practices, means very diligent, and practice acts of kindness. They do not see the fault of others. Even if others make mistakes, they still receive them with empathy and kindness. They think, they are just children and do not understand what they are doing. That is why they are creating offenses. I will teach them and lead them away from their play, saying, hey kids, here kids, do not play with that. I have a nice big cart for you. You can go anywhere you like in it. When Sakyamuni Buddha coaxed and conjured his children, he did it out of kind-hearted compassion. Not sparing body or life means such people do not indulge themselves. They are not like those who do a little bit of work and feel exhausted and want to rest. When Bodhisattva bring forth the resolve to go the Bodhisattva way, they do not care about their own bodies and lives. Instead, they work for the sake of living beings, rendering their service to them. you may teach this sutta to these people. The Buddha said that you may expound the Dhamma Flower Sutta to such people. Then the next part, the next pair. They may be those who are reverence, consistent in their resolve. Means, suppose there are those who are without doubt and revered the Triple Gem. Think about how detailed the Buddha was in explaining the sutta. Some people seem to revere it on the outside, but inside they are thinking, is it right or not? Is what Dhamma Master is saying true? Maybe not. He may teach the Dhamma, but is there really anything special about him? I must observe him carefully. If his action doesn't match his word, I would leave immediately. I am not going to let the Dhamma Master mislead me. People with wisdom cannot be misled, even when someone intends to do so. People without wisdom always end up being deceived and cheated, whether or not they are on the guard. This one is very true. Whether or not you are deceived or cheated depends on whether you have genuine wisdom or not. For example, if a Dhamma Master might give you the following instruction: I have a mantra for you. If you use it to murder this person, I will guarantee that you will become awakened. Should you listen to him or not? If you carry out his instruction, you will have been misled and deceived by him. However, if you refuse to listen, you are not following instruction. What should you do? When you take refuge or took refuge, you promise that you would respectfully follow instruction. What should you do in that situation? Speaking of this, I remember another story宣化said. There was once a person who followed a teacher in cultivation. From day to night, he requests his teacher to teach him the way, saying, Look, I have followed you for so many years. Can you please teach me how to apply effort in cultivation? I have fetched water, split firewood, and done many other hard chores for a dozen years. I should receive some benefits for all the work I have done. His teacher said, Will you listen to my teaching? Yes, Master, he replied. Okay, then go back home right now and murder everyone in your family, your parents, your wife, your siblings. You can do that. I will teach you how to cultivate when you return. If you can't, then let us part way now. You are no longer my disciple, and I will no longer be your teacher. What should a disciple do if he decides not to kill his entire family? He would be disobeying his teacher. Yet how could he bear to kill his parent, wife, and his sibling? His teacher said, You can't bear to kill them. Then go back home. If you don't kill them, when you go back, you just stay there. The disciple said, Fine, I want to cultivate the way, so I will kill them. His teacher said, Good. Take my jewel sword home with you. After you finish murdering all of your family members, hang the sword on the back of the door and come back. Then I will teach you how to cultivate. The disciple actually followed the instruction of his teacher and killed his parent, his wife, his sibling. When he got back home, he then hanged the jewel sword on the back of the door and returned to his master's place to cultivate the way. But did he really kill all of the family members? In reality, his teacher has spiritual power and purposely told him to kill his family member. When the disciple killed someone, that person would seem to be dead, but actually he was still alive. Furthermore, the teacher transformed many pieces of gold and silver and stored them in the house. When the disciple killed someone, 1,000 taels of gold would appear in his house. The next day, when his family member woke up, they saw gold flowing everywhere. They asked themselves, where did all this gold come from? When they walked behind the door, they saw their son hanging there. Their son whom they had heard from in decades since he had run off to cultivate. His parents thought, our son must have become a bandit and robbed all this gold and silver from other people. After he returned, he was afraid that the officials would arrest him. So he committed suicide by hanging himself. Let's store this gold away and forget about our son. The son thought that he had killed all his family members. So he no longer worried about them and was able to put everything down because he forgot about his family and vice versa. He was able to go and cultivate the way. Both sides were free of attachment, so he was able to cultivate. This is not something easy to do. I believe that none of my disciples can perform such a feat, because even if they were willing, I do not have the ability to transform anything into gold. Consistent in their effort means they do not waver in their resolve. They have resolved to cultivate the way with their teachers. They do not think of running away every day. When you talk of quitting your mind will start thinking about it. When you have such thought, you will waver in your resolve. Here is the verse. The verse is describing those who are consistent in their resolve. And the sutta continues, and who stay away from foolish people and dwell in solitude in the mountains and marshes. Such people do not engage in common and foolish views. They live by themselves in the mountains or in the swamp area. You may teach this sutta to those people. The Buddha said, then the other part is the preceding two stanzas are complementary. They may be those who are vigorous and who actually act with kindness, then not sparing body or life, refers to those who practice lead to blessings. There may be those who are reverent, consistent in their resolve, and who stay away from foolish people and dwell in solitude in the mountains or swampy area. Refer to those whose practice lead to wisdom. Together, they form a pair representing blessing and wisdom. We move on. Actually, just now regarding recognizing the teacher and all those things, Hsuan explained it in his own way. He generated that type of story, I think, with some you call it the meaning is like very abstract. So he used the example to stop them from having attachment. When you decide to cultivate the resolve to do it, normally under the Theravada tradition, when you renounce, you actually renounce the world. You renounce everything, your materialistic, then you take a new name. Means they call it Kaya Viveka. self-physical seclusion, seclude from all the things that you're supposed to own, including your parents, brothers, sisters, everything. Because you are not supposed to have attachment. You have chosen the holy life. But this one is only understood when they describe it in such manner. So, Hsuan's example is the other extreme. Instead of just forgetting, he said, you go and kill them all. But that one is one extreme of trying to explaining the thing so that it can lead to the non-attachment. Actually, it's not like that. In cultivation, you can cultivate even as a lay person, understand or not? You don't have to renounce the world. In fact, in the monastic, a lot of them actually, after they renounce, they change to a new name. Means they are no longer the name given at birth. Then this new name is normally the name given by the preceptor that did the ordination, and it's normally a Dhamma name, which can have its meaning. But see, the identity that you take also actually identify you. But when you realize that this is just a form in mind, dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena, not a permanent unchanging entity, then your realization is different. Then not only you know that the form in mind is not you, but just a vehicle and a tool for you to come. Hey, no you, hey, no me. No one born, no one died. Then naturally that wisdom will arise for you to understand that even your parents, your siblings, your children, your whatever, your loved one or related to you in whatever manner, they are just the conditioned world's way of identifying. In actual reality, all this, they are phenomena, not an entity, a permanent unchanging entity that you can cling onto, grasp onto, and hold on to. So that is one aspect. Then the other aspect that you need to understand is, based on my nature's cultivation and coming, the way to recognize a wise cultivator or a teacher or what, you have to develop the cultivation yourself. If you don't develop the cultivation, you can end up becoming gullible, especially those who have greed, those who actually identify through the external form, the title, the name and other things. Because these are not the real thing that you look for in a cultivator. To recognize a true cultivator of the way, you must have the ability to listen attentively to what they say. If what they say makes sense and has the what they call wisdom within, then immediately from your past cultivation, you can identify them and you will know and you will start to listen and you will follow. Because I realize my nature is, I don't know why, this life when I come, I don't really chase after monks and those on the rope or with a title, no. I somehow observe them, that I listen. Then when my nature has the ability to recognize, then I will listen attentively and I will somehow look for the sign. Then when the sign comes, I will know what to do. And this is how actually you can develop the ability to identify. That's why sometimes I jokingly tell Kayamita, I say, you not only make the aspiration by invoking the power of merits, imina punyang kamina, to have the causes and conditions to avoid the foolish, meet up with the wise, so that enlightenment in the here and now can be realized as soon as possible. You must also know how to identify who are the foolish, who are the wise. You cannot identify or differentiate between who are the heedless or foolish and who are the wise. Then you make this aspiration, sometimes it doesn't necessarily become true, because you may meet up or you may avoid them, but you cannot recognize that they are foolish people, understand? Or they are wise people. So ability to recognize who are the foolish and who are the wise are more important. That's why when I teach, I always teach the opposite. You see, in the sutta, the Theravada tradition, they teach you right thought. Normally they will only mention this four Brahma Vihara mind state. Loving kindness, which is the right thought. True. Then compassion, which is another right thought. True. Then mudita, or rejoicing in the wholesomeness of what people do, is also a right thought. True. Then having an equanimous mind without movement or agitation, can be in a state of equanimity, is also a right thought. But to me, this style of right thought is not so useful, because you cannot really develop the progress in your cultivation. What is more important is to identify what are the wrong thoughts. If you are incapable of arising the wrong thought, means you are incapable of evil, then you are naturally good or wholesome. So, to identify what are wrong thoughts is very important. Thoughts that condition your fear, your worry, your anxiety, your sorrow, your karmic negativity, that give rise to the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. These are all wrong thoughts. Thoughts that make you miserable, unhappy, the lack of peace. All these are wrong thoughts. So to identify wrong thought is more important. That's why I summarize it for you. Whenever you are not happy, you are not peaceful, the wrong thought is there. Then from there, immediately you can track them. So to identify the foolish is also the same. If you follow this type of people, it leads to downfall. It leads to a lot of karmic negativity, violation of precepts, everything. So that is the best way to actually identify. Then when you want to actually identify a cultivator of the way, that one is not so easy. Unless you yourself is a cultivator. Otherwise not easy. But there are ways actually to filter. The best one is, I still find that the advice given by the Buddha to the Kalamas, Kalama Sutras. He told the Kalamas, where the Kalamas people, they asked the Buddha, there are so many teachers that came and proclaimed that their teaching is the true one, the best, and all those things. So which should we listen? Then the Buddha said, you only have to inquire. Listen attentively. If what they ask you to do, you check. Does it harm me if I carry it out? Does it harm others? If it doesn't harm you and doesn't harm others, then no negativity, no problem. You can give it a try. If it's the truth, it will benefit you. We have no negativity. And that is a very good way. So to identify whether they have the Dhamma or what, you should listen attentively to what they advise you to do. Don't be gullible. Yeah. So these are the part that I prefer to let you develop as understanding, so that when you listen to all this sharing in the sutta, because the way Master Hsuan actually teach is maybe he has his style, and his style, I believe, when explained in Mandarin, the meaning is there, but you have to understand that is his way. We continue. Okay, the next part of the sutta. Furthermore, Sariputta, you may see people who have cast aside the bad companion. This one is good. And drawn near to good people. You may teach this sutta to such people. This one, I actually came to find out after I go to school. After I finish my primary school education, then secondary school, then even up to the university. I realized in the school, in the class, I don't like to mix with those who simply say things, want to quarrel, want to fight, and very aggressive people or abusive people. I don't like to become their friends. But smart people who do very well in the school, or who has certain good attribute, I like to observe them and listen to them. I will go near one and make friends one. Somehow I will end up having this type of friends with me. Then I learn how they study, how they actually prepare for exam, all those things. I observe, then I pick up all the good things that they do and make them what they are. Then sometimes the exam result come out. Last time, our time, the teacher will come with a whole stack of paper marked already on with the marks and result. And normally they will call out. So who get the high marks, they will specifically tell you. Then we will know. Then after that, I will go there and ask for permission to read his answer script. Then I find that very good. No wonder he gets such high marks. Very good mark. Means good understanding. And their answer is like very direct, very clear. That's how I read, I appreciate, I understand. That's like this part. He told Sariputta, furthermore, Sariputta, you may see people who have cast aside bad companions. That is what I meant. And draw near the good friends. You should add in the word smart, wise, good friends. You may teach this sutta to them. Then the next part. You may see disciples of the Buddha who uphold the precepts as purely. Those who have good moral principles. Moreover, you can see they are radiant. They have this, what they call, very special character and demeanor. And you can see them. Means their past lives are good. They have this type of parami. Then, even in the school, I can sense them. Then I like to make friends with them. Those who uphold precepts are purely as flawless bright pearls and seek the sutra of the supreme vehicle. Of course, this one is about spiritual. You may teach this sutra to them. Even in the school, you see, not to say that they keep their precepts or what. You can see that they are sincere, helpful, kind. Not the one that is selfish and try to create misunderstanding and problem for people or backbite about people's thing. And you can see them, actually. You can identify them. And there are certain type of people you can sense them. Like a lot of my classmates who know me, they know me because they know that I am simple, sincere, trustworthy, and they can trust me. Very straight. Then I also know how to identify people who are sincere, can become true friends. Okay, next part, the commentaries. Furthermore, Sariputta, you may see people who have cast aside bad companion and draw near to good friend. You may teach this sutta to them. What kind of people are considered bad companion? Those who urge or coerce you to commit sexual misconduct are the worst of all the bad companions. To draw near to good friends means to draw near to good spiritual teachers. The Buddha said that you may teach the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta to people who avoid bad companions. Then Sakyamuni Buddha further said to Sariputta, you may see disciples of the Buddha who upholds the precepts as purely, as flawless, bright pearls, and seek the sutta of the supreme vehicle. You may teach this sutta to these people. This one obvious, People who uphold their precepts flawlessly are as immaculate and bright as a pearl, precious pearl. They diligently pursue the study of the great supreme vehicle sutta. The Buddha said that you may expound the Dhamma Flower Sutta to these people. The two stanzas are complementary. So all this has already been explained. You may see people who have cast aside companion and draw near good friends. Describe those who abandon bad companion and draw near wholesome friends. This is an external quest and is motivated by the sense of shame. You may see the disciples of the Buddha who uphold precepts as purely, as flawless as bright pearl. And seek the sutta of the Supreme Vehicle describe those who focus on internal cultivation, motivated by their own conscience. Together, they represent the pair qualities of conscience and sense of shame. Okay, next part. There may be those free from anger, who are straightforward and gentle, always compassionate with living beings, and revert and have reverence to the Buddhas. You may teach this sutta to such people. Commentaries. Move it up. Okay, the first part, the commentaries meaning is, suppose you meet someone who never feel angry or have hatred. Anger is one of the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. One without anger will also be free from greed and delusion. These people are always straightforward. They are not tricky. Like I said just now, sincere classmate and friend. They are gentle and amicable with everyone. They are not hot-tempered. They treat all living beings with compassion and empathy and venerates all Buddhas. Most people do not know how to show reverence to the Buddha. We can show reverence by paying respect or bowing respectfully to the Buddha when we see them. If we do not bow to the Buddha, we are not being reverenced. Why should we bow to the Buddha? The Buddha are the fathers of all living beings in the world, and we should be respectful of their faith. Of our fathers. When we see the Buddha, we should bow. When we see Buddha images, we should also bow. When we see members of the Sangha, we uphold the Buddha Dhamma, we should bow as well. We must revert the triple gem. The phrase reverence to the Buddha encompasses being reverence towards the Dhamma and the Sangha as well. We may teach this sutta to these people. You may explain the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Sutta to such people. Okay, I think we stop here. 9:45. Okay, I'll mark this page. Then we will have our 3 minutes of toilet break. So before we continue on session 2, which is meditation reporting followed by Q&A, there's one more part that I want to add on. Just how you were at the part, how to pay reverence to the triple gem. Because this one is, this segmented life of my nature I find this very natural. I told you all before, last time when I was young, my mother used to take me to not only Kuan Yin temple, where she liked Kuan Yin temple, she also take me to all the San Miao, the dainties and all, the medium and all. These are traditional Chinese belief. But my mother had faith in Kuan Yin. So every time he take me to Kuan Yin temple, I feel very good. Then I like to pay respect to the Sakyamuni Buddha, Kuan Yin, the great beings, the 4 great beings, Wensu Pusa, Pusen Pusa, then Disang Wang Pusa, of course Kuan Yin is also there. Then Wei Tao, all those things. But initially, actually, I don't know their name. But very funny, when my mother asked me to pay respect to the dainty, I cannot, out of respect for her, I just take the joystick and I count 1 to 10, then I put the joystick down. But when I see in the Kuan Yin temple, I saw the Kuan Yin image, the Dharma protector and all things, I naturally went down and paid my respect. Then I can recognize teachings. Like this life, even though I told you Form 5, you remember, I joined a group of classmates to go and seek religion to find out the truth. So we went around really. I remember 5 of us. Most of us are non-sectarian. At that time, I think, being a Chinese, born a Chinese, we tend to have a little bit of Buddhist tradition, traditional belief. But what is the Dhamma? I don't know. Then when I saw my mother doing all those things, I actually thought that was Buddhism. Then, through my logical understanding and intellect, I say, cannot be. If this is the Dhamma, I think I'm not going to follow this. Because he can negotiate with the dainties or no. I offer you, you help my son pass exam and all those things, or you help them to recover from their sickness or this or. Then I find it can negotiate one, means can offer, then ask for help and all those things. So to me, I said, never mind. That's why after that we went around. Then we questioned all the religion. Then I never went to the temple. I never. Yeah, they all like to talk to all these religious teachers. One of our teachers is a Christian. Then one of my classmates, the father is an authority in Dhamma, in Buddhism. He bring the Tipitaka, he go and challenge the teacher. So we find it quite fun, we follow. Then they also went to Baha'i, everything, all the religious we place, except the Chinese temple. I don't know why they didn't go. Because one of them, the father, is already an authority, so that's why I think. Then later on, Form 5, somebody gave me a book, my classmate sister, remember, also Theo. The first edition of Chief Reverence, What Buddhists Believe. The first edition, red color one, thin book, not so thick. The revised edition article and updated. But the first book which I received, because she saw me when I visited the brother, the elder brother was my classmate. He saw me different from the rest. I go there, I like to quietly sit down on my own, silent my mind. That time I don't know how to meditate, but I like to sit alone. Then one day, surprisingly, before I leave the house, he said, Kenkuda, this book I think suits you. And I was so surprised. I take the book. Hey, what Buddhist belief? So I thought it was the Chinese tradition and all that. Then I took it back, I read. The moment I read about the Four Noble Truths, my nature like pride, shine with so much joy. Then as explained by the author, Dr. K. Sridhamananda, he said, all this make offering to deities and all those things, these are not Buddhism. These are traditional Chinese practices. Then I was full of joy. Then only I start to look at the Buddhist teaching. But the moment I read the Four Noble Truths, I said, no need to search it. That is it. How come I can recognize it straight away? And straight away, without the explanation from the author or the book, I straight away knew this is the secret of life. It explained to me the whole of life, both mundane and supramundane. I said, nobody, even if myself were to realize the enlightenment, I cannot summarize the understanding into just Four Noble Truths like that, so beautiful and so comprehensively. That's why it's something to do with my past cultivation. That's why I say, if you are a true cultivator, you will recognize all this when you come. Of course, you have to develop the cultivation to the extent that you do it diligently. Then when you have found the correct teaching, you make aspiration to have the understanding life after life. And the core teaching, the core understanding, you must have them all. Then you can add them on, following the yellow cut that I teach you. So there, when I teach you, it's just mainly the Theravada traditions, essential teaching. But the Mahayana one, I only add in one part. The affinity with all the great beings. Then the other one is, I describe the five aggregates of form and mind as a karmically conditioned vehicle and two segmented body. That one is part of Mahayana's understanding. Although it's also Theravada tradition's understanding, but the Theravada tradition didn't teach so deeply. They just say the five aggregates of form and mind is anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's it, finish. But karmically conditioned out, as a form and mind, for us to arise in the conditioned world, is not explained. And all this, hopefully, it can help you all. Okay, now we come back to the second session.
Okay, Sukihotu, Bratio,
Yeah,
Mrs. Teo.
Sukihotu, yeah.
Oh, kalian namitas.
Yeah.
That day I wanted to finish off a little bit more of the Cameron Highland retreat.
The retreat one, yes, yeah.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
On day 6, I think. Day 6.
Yeah.
That day I first reported was day 5 lah. So this is day 6 afternoon, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock session of meditation session. What is it that? Okay. Because day 5 I felt cold in my hands, so on day 6 I fully protected myself lah.
With all the warm clothing,
warm clothing, and I wore a hand glove also.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay, so I settled down and then quite relaxed, and then what else? So it is very calm, very peaceful lah. So
good, sadhu.
Yeah. So at certain point of time, I felt there's how to say 一种清流啊，一股的清流啊。
sadhu.
A kind of very soothing and cooling
Yeah.
breeze,
Yeah, bliss.
like some kind of air
Yeah.
arising near the neck and chest area.
Oh, sadhu.
So it lingers there quite some time lah. Then slowly
Very good.
it disappeared lah from there.
Oh, sadhu.
So it's at first I think my mind stirred already lah. I was wondering how come I am fully protected. I can feel this cold, soothing air within my chest.
Yeah. The sensation.
The sensation, the cooling effect.
Yeah.
But I just have this doubt, and then it disappeared lah. I just kind of feel it lah. Just feel it.
Yeah. It will manifest.
Yeah. So it lingered for some time. I don't know how long now. Then slowly it disappeared, and then I continue with my lying down meditation lah. So it's just like that. I was wondering. I want to tell Variety about this small experience.
Yeah. So this one is actually good. Well, sometimes while you meditate, all of a sudden, this type of very soothing feeling will arise. Sometimes it's just like the breeze. They just come. But for her case, it's particularly at the neck area. Then you sense it, you feel it. But next time when it arises, you can rejoice, of course. Because you feel good, pleasant feeling, very blissful, breezy and nice. You feel nice. See, all this can arise when you go through the cultivation. Then when it arises, it's like another form of like, instead of the shift of consciousness, your mind become quiet and all those things. This type of nice sensation, nice breeze can come by. Then sometimes nice fragrance. It can be the fragrance from the Deva rhyme. It's very, very fragrant one. The fragrance is like these Devas are around. Then you can sense them. It's for you to develop the faith and the understanding. It's nothing really like magical or whatever, but it's good experience. Then you can actually feel it. Because like I said, we are a conscious being, capable of becoming conscious of our environment through our sense, especially the tactile consciousness. So the tactile consciousness which Sis Eng Bee also experience, then sometimes we also experience all of a sudden a lot of breeze will just come, and we feel very good. Then I remember at Wu Ping Ching Sir last time, Miss Lee there, where we don't have aircon. It was a very simple Mahayana Vihara. No aircon, nothing. The ventilation also, you need to on the fan and all this thing. Then it's a good place for us to develop endurance and understanding. That's why when we meditate in such places which is not so conducive, but it is a test of your endurance and understanding. Then when you can sit there and meditate there, means you can do it anywhere. Then the endurance is very like strange. Sometimes when you feel like, oh, the weather is very hot, then all of a sudden when you start to meditate, when your sati comes in, your mindfulness develops, you suddenly feel the environment like become conducive, soothing. Then the energy, everything, when they develop, your mind state actually can help you overcome all this. That's why sometimes cultivator of the way during the Buddha's time they don't have proper building like what we have now. Now it actually is an era of luxury, we call it, where modern building and amenity like aircon, everything. Last time don't have. The Buddha said, go and look for a tree with the shade. Just sit underneath, or go to the cave, or go to somewhere where people can actually allow you to develop the practice of cultivation. So all this, the Buddha's time and now are very different already. So when you are in such era of civilization, I find that it's more conducive to cultivate if you know how to cultivate and you have the resolve in your past. But you don't have, then not easy. Our era of civilization, the level of sensuality and we call it materialistic thing that can lure and entice living being or cultivator to wear is so much higher than in the past. So, where in the past, you don't have much thing for activity one actually. Everything is like more slow moving, quiet, peaceful. That's why they go for a lot go for and lead the spiritual life. They become philosopher and all those things. Even when I was young, I remember I stayed in a small town, Alosta suburb, and quite a blue state. Then during the 50s and the 60s, when I grew up until 70s, when I went to the secondary school and the university later on, life was very simple, very like backward I should say. So in the 50s, water, electricity also not there yet. Then the very few basic things, but we like the rain. Then our house is a tap house. Then my father liked to, they always give you an air well, where all the water can be collected, and my mother know how to use them. So the air well collects the water. Then they put the zinc sheet there. Oh, I like the sound of the rain hitting on the zinc sheet. Oh, I sleep very well. Instead of like very noisy. I really love it. That's why after that, I remember when I grew up, I came to PJ when I lived in my first house, which my father-in-law, mother-in-law, they all bought. We fixed awning, Well, the awning sound when the rain comes was really beautiful. And that time I remember, most of the time, you hardly have any career there. Because no employment, almost hardly any employment at all. Very basic. So what did most people do? The kids grew up playing around. Then all the games were very simple games. Then a lot of running around, very active. Then we stay at the coffee shop, we see people play chess, understand, the Chinese chess. Then they read newspaper, they play mahjong. Those are the few things, nothing much. Then of course you can afford. There are some food around, but the food also very basic. I remember. Then that time life was simple but meaningful, beautiful. I remember at night, sometime when we did our study well or whatnot, my father will reward us. He will tell us, okay, tonight we will have supper. So he will go and buy 2 packets on it. We all call tai chao nowadays. So he normally like yin yong and the chao min. He buy 2 packets. Whole family eat, 10 of us. I think plus my grandmother, 13 of us. 2 packets. And that time, 30 cents only. So that was how life was, and very simple. Then to meditate, I think those type of environment is not so conducive. My house, I got 2 rooms in the house. My grandmother take 1 room. Then sometimes he like one of my siblings, he will get one of the siblings that he like to stay with her. Then the rest, almost 10 of us, squeeze into 1 room. 1 platform only. Everybody inside there. Then my father had to take the canvas, where you open up the foldable one. You open out and we are letting you sleep. Then as I grow up, I also got to sleep on that. Earlier on was my elder brother, then number 2. So we all come out. Then the room, as they grow up, that's why life was simple, but not easy. We only got 1 table in the house. That table, my father actually spent a lot of money make from a carpenter. That is the table where he used to see patients, where he is a sincere Chinese. Then our dinner also there, our breakfast also there, our lunch also there. Then my study also there. And so many brothers and sisters all want to study. But he make a very big table. I think it's 4 feet by 8 feet, I think. So that everybody can sit 1 corner and study. Then I've been the only one that study well. And I normally occupy almost half the table. Then all my books were everywhere. And my father liked it. He see got potential. My results were good. So that was life. So what I'm trying to explain to you is, during that time, it's not so easy to actually develop the cultivation. Then that time is 2,000 over years from the time of the Buddha. During that time, you don't even have stool, don't even have proper chair and table. And normally what they have is, that's why they learn how to sit. That's why they sit a lot. We have no chair, no table. So how? So now we have chair, we have table, the convenience of what. Then we have aircon. That's why the profession of an engineer is quite good. You know how we define our profession? We are a professional that can make use of the resources of nature and convert it for the comfort of mankind. And I like that definition. The first year, the first lecture, I heard that. I feel very good. I feel very proud. Well, I can see and understand, because like being a civil engineer, even electrical, mechanical, or same, our contribution is tremendous. Actually, the engineers are actually, even AI age is still engineer. I heard the recent one by Jensen Huang. He predict the future. He said AI will not take over human job. AI will need a lot of software engineers. And a lot of these things, actually you need engineering. So when it comes to understanding life, it's not so straightforward. But no matter what era you are in, you can fit in on it. You have the Dhamma, you have the understanding, and you will know how to differentiate between the truth and the non-truth. Where as a cultivator you will know. And this is what this segment of my nature's coming has observed through how I was born and how I became what I am, and how all these things happen and manifest. That's why life itself is your greatest teacher. You can learn a lot from life. In fact, all of Dhamma is about life. The existential world, Dhamma, is very important. Of course, to develop the penetrative wisdom and insight, you need the unconditioned Dhamma. You need to have sati, mindfulness, awareness, to develop the insight into phenomena, to awaken to the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, and to develop the direct seeing, to see things as they are, and to understand all those things, then to see the empty nature of existence, how the universal characteristics of impermanence will enable you to understand the characteristics of suffering. Then how from impermanent it will lead to the anatta nature, non-self and empty nature of existence. So all this become very natural. Then once you understand the unconditioned Dhamma, you realize true emptiness, then life, existence become wonderful, meaningful. And this is how, despite whatever era it is, whatever civilization you may encounter or be born into, whether sasana is around or not, you have to think of way to develop the cultivation. That's why planting the seed of bodhi is very, very important. And all this so-called Mahayana teaching or sutra, they are actually for you to develop the core understanding. What are the pitfalls that you must avoid? And what are the extensive understanding that you can develop out of this teaching? And how all these are possible. You can only see them and understand them when you take the Bodhisattva way. That's why this segment of my nature is coming. I saw so much thing. Then I can deduce from what happened how all these cultivation are possible, especially the Bodhisattva way. And you must have strong faith. Then make that adhitthan or plant the seed of bodhi with strong faith, sincerity, then determined to persevere. And we always say, invoke power of merit, silence everything. Means by the power of whatever wholesomeness that this nature of yours has cultivated since the distant past until now, you make this affirmation to take the Bodhisattva way, to undertake all these vows, then to have all this understanding, life after life, whenever you have to come or you choose to come, you must have all this understanding. Then the miscellaneous vow, whatever, you just add on to the list. Then determine to cultivate wisdom and virtue. Nothing free your mind except wisdom and virtue. Not all the wealth, the psychic, everything. But you need Dana Parami. Don't be mistaken. Don't think that materialistic wealth are not important. No, it is important. But that is the Dana Parami that can give rise to good causes and conditions for you to receive a lot of things and fulfill your perfection. In fact, Dana Parami is one of the perfection that need to be fulfilled. And all this, it will come for as you walk this way. Even Kanti, patient endurance, then renunciation. It's only when you can renounce everything. You know what is renounce everything or not? Not only Kaya Viveka, Chitta Viveka, but Upadhi Viveka, the ultimate renunciation. When you can renounce everything, means what? Means what? You have no suffering, isn't it? Why? You got no more attachment, understand? No? Yeah, everything can be renounced. Even this form in mind, you know, it's not you. You will not cling, you will not hold, understand? No? You will not worry about you getting sick and die. And who die? What die? Nothing die. And it's very easy to die. It's just consciousness separate from the form. So all this understanding will unfold. Then when it unfolds, it becomes beautiful. That's why this Dhamma is very wonderful. Yeah, very, very wonderful. And the triple gem, you must take refuge, have faith. Yeah. Taking refuge means you actually go for to develop the understanding of what the triple gem is. Yeah, these are the gems that can lead you to the teaching. Without this, you cannot find the teaching. You have to meet up with the Sammasambuddha, or you have to have condition or affinity with the teaching. And this teaching is called the Dhamma because this is the second gem. Then the enlightened disciple of the Buddha, they also have the teaching. That's why apart from these three, there is no refuge safe. These three, you have to have affinity. That's why in the yellow card, I advise you all to cultivate as much affinity as you can with all the great beings. Because when you have affinity with this great being, you will have affinity with the triple gem. Because they will protect you, bless you, and guide you. So these three are very important understanding and requests. You thank them sincerely for their blessing, protection, and guidance all this while. Then you invoke power of merit for their continuous support to bless, guide, and I always forgot. Protect, guide and protect. So all these are very beautiful and important understanding. So when you have them, the so-called supreme vehicle teaching become very simple, very easy to realize and to cultivate. So cultivation is about familiarizing yourself with what this teaching is all about. Then how to actually develop the faith, the understanding, and how to invoke power of merits for all this to come about. And all this can be done. It's not difficult. It's only whether you have the condition to receive this teaching or not. In fact, affinity triple gem will lead the way to all this possibility. And the triple gem core teaching is to have affinity with all the great beings, the real cultivator of the way. Then whenever you arise, the Bodhi mind that you have planted deep enough, they will be activated very naturally. And when that thing happens, you don't have to do anything technically. That Bodhi mind, you will know what to do. Then since all the understanding has been put forward through your cultivation, your adittan, your bodhisattva vow, and all the what they call the expression of understanding, all this, they will come to fruition as you walk this path. Then having kayamita is also a very important thing. So having affinity with great being is one of them. Having true kayamita-ship means Dhamma friends, especially Dhamma friends who have the Dhamma. Initially, don't worry, as long as they are sincere, true Dhamma friends, good enough. Then later on, when you have the understanding of the cultivation, you will meet out with true cultivator of the way. Then when you meet out with the true cultivator of the way, you will know these are Kayamitas, Dhamma friend that has the Dhamma. Then you will learn from them initially. Then later on, when the time comes for you to share, to teach, you will arise like my nature. Then you will have your turn to share and do all this. So if you really have the faith, just sacrifice this life, work hard towards it, and establish the foundation for all your future coming. It's worth it because one life fulfill everything so that all your future coming is taken care of. And this understanding is very, very important, very unique. That's why my nature was requested by Maitreya's nature in the year 2008 to actually share this through teaching, through understanding of the cultivation with the world. Okay, another 3-4 minutes. Anybody else want to come in?
Brother Teo,
yes.
Can I add in a little bit?
Can, Eng Bee, yeah.
Yeah, it's regarding life is the greatest teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was one day I went to tapao my lunch lah.
Oh, sadhu.
When I stepped in, I saw some friends having a gathering there. But that time was direct seeing lah, Brother.
Wow, sadhu.
It's no mundane mind stirring.
Yeah.
As they are, I just know they are familiar faces.
Yeah.
I proceed to tapao, pay up.
Sadhu.
Then I heard them calling my name.
Oh,
so
sadhu.
Now I went to them, I walk off lah. Walk off lah. In a way, I my body language is I don't want to join them lah. Something like that. Yeah. So when I step up, the direct seeing gone lah, but
definitely, because all this they will appear to you as you progress. It's like glimpses of it. Then later on, it become a part of you. Initially, it's like glimpses of it, and it's very interesting, very beautiful.
I see very clearly.
You continue. Yes.
Yeah. Then when I step out of the shop, the perception, the image,
all come in already. The thought and the content of consciousness all go in already.
Yes, Sanya, Sankara, concocting.
Yeah. And all these are the movement of the mundane activity, mundane thinking. It's for you to see the difference. That's why glimpses of all this, they will appear. And when you cultivate seriously, I remember, when your mindfulness becomes continuous, you tend to see a lot of this on. Not only the direct seeing, the insight, the awakening, the joy. Then all of your contemplative wisdom at that time, like Dhamma is everywhere, truth is everywhere, then like everything can trickle of understanding. That's why during that phase, I remember, near to 89, I think 88 to 89, a lot of these moments, glimpses and direct seeing. And every time I see something that I feel funny, How come last time I cannot see like that? And now, how come everything has become so different? Because our Sankara activity has actually slowed down until hardly any. And most of the time we are just silent, away. And the specific phenomena awareness, then at times spacious awareness without a center, that thing keep on happening, keep on manifesting, which is very good. That's why you will continue to go through all this. Sadhu,
Yeah, I know time's up, but I just add in a little bit.
Can, no problem.
Besides Sanya, Sankara, concocting, the feeling also come out already.
Correct.
The unpleasant feeling,
all the sensation,
consciousness, content of consciousness all come out and play their role.
And you can feel it, that thing has actually started to show itself, and whether that stirring of the mind, how it tend to continue before you have the Dhamma, and now you can see, then it subsides. It actually cannot move. Of course, certain habitual tendency will still move, but it's okay because it's different now. With the understanding that direct seeing, the see things as they are, have the understanding. And this is paticca samuppada, dwelling, dependent originating. Actually, nobody inside there. Only mighty nature rolling by, condition arising, cause of phenomena. Nothing, empty.
Yes.
And that is the beauty. And from there, the understanding stabilizes. Then later on, it's like you can laugh at it. It cannot move already. It's just a part of the mundane activity. But this mundane activity, when you have the wisdom already connected, it behaves differently. It is no longer grasping because it is no longer having the avijja, the ignorance, the delusion. And you understand all this very clearly. That phase is the most beautiful. Then everything becomes like a living reality, Like this form and Maya, any time go, no problem at all. There is nothing really for you to hold on to, cling on to, grasp on to. No reality. Everything is just mighty nature rolling by, condition arising, causal phenomena, dependent originating phenomena. Everything is just a phenomena. Phenomena world of consciousness, form, labored by the mundane thinking, the mundane mind. So this direct seeing is very powerful. Then as you contemplate, reflect, the deeper stability or understanding continue to unfold. Then it becomes very beautiful. Then you realize, no need to let go. The understanding free the mind by itself. There is nothing in your heart there to like hold on to anything or to arise any mind state. Cannot already on. Then you realize, hey, no wonder people cannot do it. People cannot understand because how it happened and transformed is totally not understood by non-cultivator. But they didn't go through all this. That's why for your case it's very good. Sadhu to you, maybe.
So when because I'm walking back to the car to drive home to take my lunch, during all this, because the mind has got something to do. All these stirrings subsided.
You will do it because part of mundane duty that you have to attend to.
So after lunch already, then I sit back, relax, and then I reflect back.
Sadhu, very good.
What has
transpired? What has transpired?
So the first message is 凡所有相皆是虚妄哦。
Sadhu.
Very good. Everything is conditional arising.
Yeah.
So from there I pick up and then I reverse it. What for I need to suffer?
Correct. Sadhu. From that understanding, everything can be reversed. There is no more grasping, clinging, holding like before. Everything is just the way it is. Nature. Condition like that, things we like that. Cannot be otherwise. And all these are very profound understanding.
Yes. That's why I am so happy that I really understand what Bharatil has been teaching.
Penetrative.
Very, very happy to
a lot of joy. Sadhu. Very good.
Sadhu, thank you, Bharatil.
Can. Let us rejoice. Sadhu. Thank you for the good sharing. Okay, now we will share merit, transfer merit, then we end. Akasata Chebumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anamoditwa Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasana Etta Vata Chamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabbasampati Siddhya Idang Menya Tinang Hotu Sukita Hontunya Tayo อิทังเมญาทินังโหตุสุขิตาหันตุญาเตโยทินังโหตุสุขิตาหันตุญาเตโยเดโวสัตตกาลีนะสาสุสัมปติเหตุเจฟิโตภวตุโลโกเจราชาภวตุดามิโกอิมินาปุญญังกามินะมาเมบาลาสมากโมสัตตังสมากโมโหตุยาวานิวานาปาติยาสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu.